right, welcome to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. This is your host, Kirk DeMars, and tonight we've got, of course, as always, my co host, Jay Gill, joining us from that state of Colorado on the other side of the mountains. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in and let's get this thing started. Jay, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Dad? Oh, not much. I'm just enjoying this beautiful weekend. It's a long weekend since most people are off. We are celebrating Memorial Day, so
Mhm.
I always want to bring up that and remember the people who sacrificed their lives so we can have freedom right here in America. So
Well, look at you.
we are so
You already stole my thunder. Thank you. That's good.
Sorry, man. I see that American flag, and I'm
I
telling you,
know.
I'm red, white, and blue. I see that flag, and I get so proud. So
Exactly.
we are very honored to be here on Memorial Day, and man, do we have a good show planned tonight. Tell you
That's
what.
right. That's right. We do remember those that have fallen in service and paid that ultimate sacrifice. We also want to honor today those that are in service and those that are going into service. And along with that, that just is in conjunction with one of our sponsors, the Missouri Army National Guard, and we appreciate them as well as CNS Business Services. But the call to serve your country, man, I just don't know if anybody can do anything more honorable.
Yeah,
What do you think?
oh man, you nailed it right on the head. I 100% agree with you. Like you said, one of our newest sponsors is the Army National Guard, and another cool thing, just came out this past weekend. Another kind of hero America movie, Top Gun Maverick. I have not got to see it yet, but I hear it is extraordinary and also a great movie to honor our veterans as well. So I'll be excited to check that one out in theaters too.
Okay, you watch Indivisible on PureFlix. That's a really good one too. So,
We'll
hey,
add it to the
my
list. Thank you.
goodness, look at who's joining us from the state of Arizona. Your mother, Jane Bailey.
Hi, Mama.
All right. Hey, I'm not going to hold this up anymore. We need to get our guest on here, so I'm going to let you get to it.
Awesome.
So go ahead.
Tonight on our show, we have an absolute gem. We have Sandy Baskar from the Jefferson City Jays tennis team. And man, I'm just so glad we made her schedule. When she plans her day, her weeks, her months, she fills it to the max. I don't think she has time to go to the cinema and watch movies or binge Netflix shows like I do because everything she does has purpose and she is just a driven young lady. So we are super excited to bring her on. Just to give you a highlight from her tennis career at Jeff City, I want to say a few things. Sandy has been the number one singles player on her high school team since her freshman year, winning two district titles. She's gone to the state tournament the last 3 years, and then this year, she placed fourth at state, becoming the first Lady J to win a single state medal in 26 years. She won her first 30 singles matches this year, and she just so happened to be chosen by Sports Locker magazine, whoop whoop, as the 2021 Capital Region Medical Center Player of the Year. At Jefferson City, Sandy is also the vice president of the National Honor Society. She was involved in the Diversity Club. She also started her own tennis academy last year in Jeff City because that's something that has been desperately needed. She's also been involved in philanthropy around town, where she's been a major player in raising money for the Jefferson City Food Bank. Again, we're just so glad to have made her schedule because she is one outstanding young lady. So, anyways, without further ado,
Really,
I want to bring on this superstar.
yeah, we do. But Jay, I mean, you could have made it all easier and just said, what does she not do? That would have been simpler. That would have worked.
that that might have gone a little quicker, but I had to do her justice. I
That's
tried.
right. That's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and bring her on. Hey, Sandy, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, we are doing awesome tonight, Sandy. We are so glad to have made your schedule. I know you are one busy young lady, so thank you for allowing us to join in and talk to you and have some fun. Does that sound good?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, Sandy. Tell us a little bit about this year and what was so special for you.
I would say this year, having it be senior year, I had a lot going on. School and obviously tennis season started the year off great for me, and just kind of going from there and college, applying for colleges and seeing where that took me, and just kind of enjoying as much as I could throughout the year, all the senior events and school events and things like that.
That's awesome. So a lot just to kind of dive from there. So talk to us a little bit about tennis. You've had I want to hear about kind of the work that you have to put in, and in order to have all that success. I mean, you won your first 30 singles matches. That's incredible. What kind of work ethic does that take?
Yeah, it definitely, I didn't really realize that it was 30 until I hit 30. I just kind of, last summer for me was huge. I trained every day and traveled for tournaments. And I really just kind of didn't take a break all summer last year. And the season started in mid August. And every day, even after practice, I would stay after or have lessons before and just kind of get as much practice as I could until matches. And once season gets started, you get on a roll. You play 5 or 6 times a week sometimes. And I think I remembered when I hit 11-0, and I was like, I haven't lost a match yet. And I thought that was a big deal. And that was not even halfway. And I just kept traveling, and we had some rain cancellations here and there, but it was still a lot of good matches. And it just kind of, every match I got better. And after going 2-0 the first day of state, that's when I had hit 30-0, and it was really nice to have that feeling after never experiencing it before.
Yeah, so I like I told you, sometimes I go off schedule of questions, but so you got to state. What was state like? I want to hear about that experience.
Yeah, so I had gone to state before 3 times, and this was my third. And every time you go, it's a different kind of environment because new people qualify, people graduate, and new people come in. And this year, this was our first time being in class two. So it was a lot of new people in my class, and it just seemed like I had a nicer draw in to go as far as possible. So getting there, I just felt more confident about the draws itself, and I just kind of walked in and played every match. Kind of had some delays here and there, but I got to play them all indoors. So there was a huge crowd indoors because it's not a huge space as it is outside. So there was a lot of people watching, and I had some friends come down and family, and it was a nice experience. And then having to play both matches and then see my name go on the main draw, like as they write your name down as you win every match, was a really nice feeling.
Yeah, no, I bet that's really cool. Um, so you had a lot of really good things go your way in tennis. Talk to us even more about some of the team accomplishments that happened for Jeff City as well.
Yeah, so this year we actually lost about 8 or 9 seniors, and a lot of them were on varsity. So our team was essentially, I was the returner, and everybody else, it was their first time being on varsity. So it was a big change for me and our coaches, but we were able to kind of work with each other, and they had put in a lot of effort over the summer, and we had some other 3 sport athletes and 2 sport athletes who kind of came in and were athletic, and they wanted to get better. And with every match, we started off with 3 matches in a weekend, and we played really well there and kind of had a good start from there. And we had some close matches, but they were ready to get better, and I did my best as much as I could to kind of lead with my experience. And they're always super helpful. If I was the last match on, they're always there to cheer me on, and that goes for our JV team as well. So it was a big team effort, but we did good, and we ended the season with a good record too. So
You know, kind of, was there a lot of pressure that came with that? Having all those varsity kids leave, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, the spotlight's on you. You're kind of the big dog on the team. How was that dynamic?
yeah, it definitely was. I felt a little bit of pressure, but I also just kind of having it be senior year and knowing that we were going to drop classes and the opportunities that would come with that, it was just, that was my drive, like the individual drive. And then I looked at all the people on my team who were trying to play over the summer and trying to get better, and they came out and they were ready to hear from me and learn. None of them ever kind of turned away from me for any advice or help. They would come ask. And I played with a lot of different people this season for my doubles matches, which was something that was new for sure. Usually I only have one partner, but I got to play with a lot of other people this season, which was really fun. And having COVID affect last season, it was definitely nice to be able to travel and have a team that was all new. It was fun to see what they had to experience. So it was nice, but initially there was a bit of pressure, but I kind of got through it just by getting to know them a little bit better.
That's awesome. You obviously had to step into that leadership role, and you were ready to do it. Of course, you had a lot of experience since you were from the time of a freshman. I want to ask you real quick: where did you get your love for tennis? Who helped institute that?
Yeah, so I had played a lot of other sports leading up. I was actually, in the bigger scheme of things, late to tennis. I started when I was 9, and I was also doing dance, and I had done basketball at one point. I had done gymnastics, like all different kinds of things, and I really hadn't found a passion for a sport yet. And so I would say it took about 2 years, but I would think that Coach Steinmeier from Jeff City definitely helped with me kind of find my passion and motivation to play every day and kind of teach me my basics. And from there, I just kind of made new friends and realized that I was an individual sport kind of person. And from there, it's just been, playing tournaments, meeting new people, finding new coaches, and things of that nature.
So we do have someone giving us a comment here, David. He's saying, "Congrats, bright future ahead." So awesome! If you have more comments out there, please don't hold back. Let us hear them. We are super excited. If you have questions that you want to know, go ahead and throw them on there. Sandy is more than prepared and ready to start answering questions. I mean, I'm peppering her with them, and she is knocking them out of the park. I'll tell you that. So real quick, you brought up, Coach Steinmeier. I want to give you the chance to talk about all of, your coaches and, what they've meant to you through your journey.
Yeah, so I started off with the coach named Anna here. That was my first ever coach. And from there, I learned all my basics from her and just kind of played tournaments. I started off with her. Then I think it was my 6th grade summer that I had joined Coach Steinmeier and kind of learned just that you could be out on the court forever. And that's just kind of how you get better if you're ready for it. And he helped me find my passion, as I said. And from there, I played more tournaments and met new coaches in different cities. At one point, I was in Kansas City for coaching, in Columbia a lot for coaching with other Mizzou coaches and academy coaches. And then around my 8th grade year, I found my official coach, I would say, for long term. Her name's Courtney, and she's at the lake right now, but she would come up here and teach in Jeff City, and that's kind of what changed my game for high school. She kind of walked me through everything, changed it, everything that I needed at that time, and I've been with her for the last 4 years. So
Uh, that's really cool. Are you help me out a little bit? Are you playing more than just even school tennis? What other tennis do you have?
yeah, so there's USTA tournaments, which is your United States Tennis Association tournaments all year long, and I have been playing those since I started playing tennis, so almost a decade now. And I've kind of slowed down with COVID because there's not been a lot, and there's been limitations, but I do play year round. And I think up until this year, before college application started, I was playing pretty much after season ended. I would have a tournament within 2 weeks, and then I'd just keep going through the winter, and I would just keep training whenever it was too cold or there would be no tournaments, and then I'd hit the summertime and then travel again. So
Busy.
Dad, yeah, she's busy. I have more questions, but I can wait. When you jump on, it usually means I need to be quiet.
Wow, I didn't know I was sending those signals. Hey, I wanted to quickly bring up something here. I'm going to move it this way, I think. Nope, other way. There we go.
Awesome. Yeah, so that is Sandy. She was in our November December issue of Sports Locker. You can find her article on page 60. That was actually written by the man in front of us, Kirk DeMars, and he did a great job laying out her awesome. Come on, Dad, don't give that face. Laying out
But
her awesome journey, and
she made it easy. She made it easy.
she made it easy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Uh,
I love it.
we really appreciate you coming on here tonight, Sandy, and we're going to go ahead and take our first break here. Well, we're going to take our only break because I'm going to go ahead and do both of our sponsors here. But we have learned a lot from you tonight, and we're excited for more. And even on into the speed round, where we're going to ask questions that you have no idea about. And Jay, this is his favorite part, so we'll make sure that you are prepared for that coming into the end. So we're going to go
Okay.
ahead and bring our sponsors on now.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
We appreciate CNS Business Services. Before we bring Jay on to talk about them, I wanted to quickly talk about on this Memorial Day, we honor all of the men and women who have fallen in service to our country. We also want to take time to recognize those who have answered the call to serve and protect the citizens of the United States of America. Young men and women across our great state and in Sports Locker magazine coverage have decided to take that next step and pursue a career in the Missouri Army National Guard. On behalf of all of us in Sports Locker Nation, we want to say thank you all for your service and love for your country. If any of you are watching tonight, or if you know of someone who has had the pull towards service, contact the Jefferson City Blue Armory Recruiting Office at 801 Armory Drive in Jefferson City. You can call 573-638-0236 for more information on how you can rise to the occasion with the Missouri Army National Guard. There you go. How did that go, Jay?
Hey, that was real good, Dad. I enjoyed that. Good little pitch there.
Well, hey, thanks, but you need to finish up with CNS Business Services, so go ahead.
Absolutely. And it is, not everyone is called or able to go to the Missouri Army National Guard. And if that's the case and you're looking for work, you can go with CNS Business Services. They are a trusted company that's been around for over 45 years, and they will help place you in the right employment situation to meet your flexible scheduling needs, and they will work with you. So give them a shout. We absolutely love working with them. So yeah, CNS Business Services all the way. Come on.
Awesome. And speaking of working with us, thank you, Sandy, for working with us and just putting up with us tonight. That's this is the challenge for you for the day. So, Jay, you jump right in and give her some more questions.
Absolutely. So you mentioned traveling. Now, obviously, I know, just reading about you, you are, a superstar celebrity. I know you've traveled to many places around the world, but in specific for tennis, what's the best places you've traveled for tennis?
I would say Oklahoma is one of my favorite places that I have gone to just because it's so much bigger. Their facilities and complexes are so much bigger, and there's usually a lot of people at the tournaments that I go to. So there's a lot more things going on, a lot more matches to watch. And the drives up there, you usually go with people. And when you're there for a weekend. So I would say that's probably one of my more favorite places that I've been.
Well, that's cool. From where I've read that you've been, and where you like to travel, Oklahoma. I'm like, all right, cool, Oklahoma. I do want to
Yeah.
give you the chance to also share some of the favorite places you've traveled around the world.
Yeah, I would say New York and California are like my favorite here in the United States. And when I go out of the country, I've been to Singapore before, and that's one of my more favorite places just because it's so different from what I'm used to. And obviously, India, every time I go, we go somewhere new and there's fun things to see every time. So, one of those areas usually.
Very cool. You haven't had the chance to play tennis over in one of those other countries?
I have actually played in India before because I was always so
Cool.
scared about not playing for a month, how that would change everything if I came back. And I would not bring my racket, so I'd just bring my shoes and I would go and you borrow everything from them. And I usually got some kind of practice in, but it was on clay courts, which is a lot different from here because I've never played on clay courts here before. So clay courts and some kind of college campus kind of environment. So I have played before.
Dude,
Speaking of clay,
that is
yes,
awesome.
it
How
is.
dedicated are you when you go on vacation and you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, I got to go hit the tennis courts. Come home. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
speaking of clay courts, they're doing the French Open right now, and that's on the clay courts, right? And uh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just watch them and how they just slide. How different is that when you're on that clay court? And I mean, you can't really do the same thing that you do on a normal court, right?
Yeah, it is so much slower. The balls don't bounce as much, and you kind of just go there and you end up, you can't, like, like you said, you slide a lot, and that's just not something you're used to doing here. And when you're there, it's like just the environment, like the ball, whenever you throw it up in the air, it seems slower, and you just kind of get used to everything that's around you. So it's very, very different compared to playing on fast-paced courts here all the time.
I know from just recreational tennis and you know how you're running back and forth and trying to plant your foot and things like that. If I played on a clay court, I'm telling you it would be not good. Splits
Yeah.
and not on purpose.
Hmm.
And it would not feel
Yeah.
good. So that is something that I probably won't do. Jay, what about you?
Well, no, I don't have the dance experience that Sandy does, so I don't know if I could. I think I would do the splits and I would pull the whole hamstring. Can't do that now. But Sandy, so obviously with all this traveling, all this tennis, you've had some amazing family support. I'd like you to talk to us about your family and your parents.
Yeah, so my dad usually takes me to all my tournaments that I've had for a long time. And before I had a license, driving up to Columbia and stuff for all the lessons. So that was until high school season. And then once high school season started, I have my brother as well. He's 9. He came to all my matches. My mom and dad both came to all my matches. And they'd always check in and see how everyone was doing. And that happened for all 4 years, came to stay. And even during all the matches and tournaments that I played year round during high school, they always came out and supported and just kind of was always there for those matches, big times. So,
It's great.
Oh,
We,
we got a question here from Miss Shelley Shirk. She says, "Who is your favorite tennis player?"
I would say my favorite female tennis player is Serena Williams, and male is Roger Federer.
those are two
Very cool.
legendary ones, so
Yeah,
that's good
yeah.
choice. You know, for a while there, I was kind of partial to Andre Agassi because I think maybe the haircut. I don't know. That might have had a little
Mm.
bit to do with it. I don't know.
Oh, Dad, you're funny.
All right, I'm so
Uh,
sorry.
so, so Sandy, talk to us a little bit about like what's your plans, ahead now. Your senior year's coming to a close. What's your next step look like?
Yeah, so I had applied to colleges pretty much all over the country, and I have chosen NYU, New York University, and I will be going to the Stern Business School there to major in marketing and management, or one of them, not sure which one yet. And I'm hoping to play tennis on their tennis team, trying to work that out right now. So, next step, probably going to visit there sometime and then going in September. So,
Very cool. What made you think New York University? Why did you choose there?
I actually wanted to go to California. I was a big California fan, so choosing New York was a complete change for me. But I think academics, knowing for what major I wanted to do, the Stern Business School is one of the top business schools in the country. And usually, when you're there, you get all these opportunities that not many other schools get. I was lucky to have had that, and I thought that was something I should consider. And obviously, you can do your undergraduate at one place and graduate another place. So as of right now, undergraduate, I'm planning on doing here. And New York has a lot to explore and see, so you're never going to get bored, and there'll always be something to do. So just kind of, all the different factors going into that.
Okay, so New York City, I mean, if you get a chance and you're up there, go to any of the toy buildings as far as like the Mattel, Hasbro, see if there's any way you can get in there, possibly through the business school, saying, hey, you got to hook me up. I need to go in and check out the Lego building. All that stuff is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Um, I only know that because I went there on a buying trip, but you would be very impressed. Room after room after room, building after building of toys. And I
Yeah,
don't know.
for sure.
I'm still a kid at heart, I think. I don't know. Awesome. Uh,
Oh, that's awesome.
Jay,
So
this next question is a good one, and we need to get as much information as we can on this.
absolutely. So, you're talking about business and you want to go to business school and you want to learn things. Well, you've already kind of been doing some of your own business. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you did start, like a tennis academy. Um, Talk to us about that. So, are you still going to be doing that this summer?
Yeah, so that's a big thing for me right now. I'm gonna try coaching again and kind of starting off where I left off last summer and coaching more kids, if not the same amount as last year, and doing as much as I can before I leave at the end of the summer, which usually I end up doing once a week lessons for all the kids that I have. And I had about 15 to 16 last summer. So I'm hoping that if they're interested again, I'll have the same ones. If not, I know more newer people have reached out this summer. So with COVID not being as big of an issue, I hope that more people want to come and play this summer and just kind of get used to something different before I go in September.
Yeah, so if I was watching this program and I wanted to figure out, how to contact you to join, what would be my best route?
Yeah, so I actually have a flyer made as well that I can somehow get to you guys, and it has my contact information and how much I charge and where it would be at. And typically, how it goes or how it went last summer was I would send out flyers to different group chats that my parents had, or just kind of put it out on social media. And if parents would reach out to me, and we would just kind of schedule lessons based on their availability and court availability and things like that.
Very cool. Well, and in the comment section on this post, we'll be sure to put your contact information so that way people can reach out and uh, find out more information about this. How did that the last summer go? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was definitely a new experience. It was my second summer teaching. I had taught at a country club in Columbia my 2 years ago, so my end of sophomore year, and that was kind of my first time teaching in general. It was very different. I was teaching 3 and 4 year olds, and after that, I had taught at the YMCA locally, and that was more of like your middle schoolers and things like that. So after going through different age groups, I just kind of started it last summer, and again, I had a very big range of ages from 7 and 8 to like 14 and 15. So it was a big difference in ages, but everyone was at a different level, and it was fun to kind of see them play and nice to see them playing on their own too, not just for lessons.
So I just think it's really cool that you're, wanting to share your knowledge and pass that on to other, your peers and kids younger than you, that the next generation coming up. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. So thank you for doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I do want to jump into outside of, the state medal that you won in tennis. What was
Mm-hmm.
your other most favorite memorable moment on the tennis court?
I would say that all the championships I have won in my tennis, like my USTA matches, all of those mean a lot. And I've had those, I mean, they've happened in and out for the last 5 or 6 years, and all those mean a lot too. But I think now every time I get on a court, I don't feel as I'm playing, or like I don't have as much pressure, so I kind of just walk out and I'm playing for fun, and there's not much that I can lose. I'm just having fun. I find myself playing more loose, and every day it's just kind of a new time to go out and play as much as I can. So,
Very cool. Well, Dad, I think we are getting to the point where I'm ready for the speed round.
I
And
knew
so
you
the
would
whole
be.
goal, oh, thank you. The whole goal of this, Sandy, is just for people to get to know you a little bit better. So we're looking for quick answers, maybe one word, depending on the question, maybe a whole sentence. But these are just quick, rapid fire questions so we can get to know you a little bit better. Does that sound fair?
mhm, yeah.
I love when they agree to it, Dad.
I
That means
know.
they're all mine. All right, perfect. All right, so Sandy, if you can't tell, I'm a big food guy. I love to eat something real good. So you're out there, it's, I don't know, state tournament, pressure's on, you're playing this amazing match, you're done, and you're like, man, I am beat. What is your go to after game snack or meal?
I would probably say Mexican food just because it's
Yeah.
so much that there is to it. So,
Jay loves
I
Mexican food. I like
I love
Mexican food too.
Mexican food. What's your favorite Mexican place right there in Jeff City?
Chipotle.
Oh, I love
Sure.
some good Chipotle. No doubt about it. I also like getting the big nachos from like
El
oh, what's that
Espolon.
place? El Espolon. I love getting their nachos too. So good. Like I said, I'm a food guy. Sorry, I could go on all day. Anyway, so let's say you're teaching someone tennis. You said you kind of have a whole range of kids. You also have a whole range of maybe skill level. Well, me, no skill, old fat man. What's one of the first things you're going to be teaching me in tennis?
I would probably focus on form, just kind of like getting the basics down. Like, you don't even need to get the ball, like, we don't even get the ball out usually first. We just kind of nail down your form. And once you have your form and you can do it without me being there, we just kind of go to the net after that and try.
Well, it was
That is
very
great.
nice. I was expecting you to say, "Run, Tubby. It's time to run. Let's lose some." I'm just kidding. No, that's
now,
good. I like that.
now, Sandy, he is really good at ping pong. So, I
Mm.
mean, hopefully he could transition that to the tennis court. Um, I'd like to see him dive like he does in ping pong on the tennis court, but that might hurt a little bit more. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Hey, hey, when you're playing a game of ping pong, you've got to be able to risk your body. You got to put it on the line. And it's not even the state championship, Sandy, but it's like the championship in my brain when I'm facing off against my dad. So, anyways, it's I know you know the drive to compete. So, anyways, all right. If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Somewhere with the beach. Anywhere with the beach right now.
All right, anywhere with a beach. I think
Yeah.
Alaska has beaches. Maybe we can go to somewhere warm, maybe though.
Yeah, preferably.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
for sure. Okay, just checking, making sure. Uh, what's one of your nicknames?
Um, my team had a lot of different nicknames for me, but I would just, hmm. Some of them called me Sandy Kane. It was different kinds of things going at the same time. I don't know if I'm really big on nicknames, so I don't think I've had a lot. So,
All right, I
yeah.
was just curious. Um, what is one of your least favorite chores?
Um, I just don't like cleaning my closet too much. It's
The
always going to be
closet.
messy. It's
All
always
right,
going to be
all right.
messy.
Hey,
Closet can be a
but
catch-all.
does your closet have a door? Can you close it?
If there's not clothes on the floor, yes.
That's the goal. You just got to be able to close the door. So that's good.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Um, okay. Now, this is a little different because, from my understanding, you are actually a pretty good dancer. But finish this sentence. When I dance, I look like.
Hmm. I try to look like a dancer sometimes, but I can be a little off a lot. I don't know what would be the right word for that, but yeah.
If you were comparing yourself to some type of an animal, if you're off, what would that animal be?
Um, not sure. Uh,
Jay, what
I
about you?
Well, when I dance, I look like a beached whale. Lots of flopping, around trying to find myself back into the water. That's kind of how I would describe my dancing.
I
Um,
go more for the sloth part right now. Just a little bit
yeah.
more slow motion. Should I go for
mm,
that? All right.
Oh, I love
Sorry
it.
to interrupt. Keep going.
Okay, you're good. Um, this is one of the wise questions. This is where we want to hear your wisdom, Sandy. What do you wish you would have learned sooner in life?
that everything is gonna just be fine. Like even, if all things fail, it just seemed like it was not gonna be fine, but it will be fine. Not to worry too much about things.
Very good.
That's good. I like that. That's wise. All right, Dad,
Ready?
throw some
Okay.
questions at her. What do you
My
got?
turn. All right. I like this one. What is the fastest speed on your serve that you've been clocked at?
I think 90 or 95 has been the fastest. I haven't clocked recently, as in the last year, but I would like to this summer sometime.
So basically, something like that, hitting one of us in the face at the net would hurt. So bottom line, yeah. that
Nasty. That's
that's
awesome.
pretty good. Yeah. Okay. What is the worst hit that you can remember making? Like for me, when again, just recreational playing, accidentally hitting it over the fence. What's the worst hit you've done?
I have hit cars before, like in the
Okay.
parking lot. They would go over the fence. I have hit cars before, but the worst one is probably hitting people whenever like they're your doubles partners and you don't obviously want to hit them, but
Right.
if you're serving or you're just hitting a shot and you hit them, that's usually the worst feeling.
And typically their backs to you, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
worse if they like turn their head around to just
Oh,
see what you're
yeah.
doing. So, yeah.
That's great. All right. What is the funniest moment that's happened on the court?
I would say there's been a lot over the years, but in recent times we've been trying to play triples, which is like 3v3 on a court. And when you have people, we're all seniors who usually play. And so it's just kind of us playing for fun. Everyone just finished, the guys just finished their season. The girls have been done. And it's like we split up teams, girls versus guys. And it's fun to see how the girls kind of strategize and the guys strategize. And it's sometimes we do 3v3, otherwise we'll put five on one side and one on the other side. So just things
Cool.
like that.
So,
Yeah.
who wins between the guys and the girls?
As if right now the guys have been winning, but we're going to keep going all summer until we can get our
Yeah.
fair share of what
Well, I
women
would
And girl
win.
recommend
power. Woman up, Dad. Come on.
I would recommend one of those placed shots at 95 miles an hour at one of them, and that might open up opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the longest match or even volley that you can remember playing?
Longest match I could remember probably has gone for 3 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Ooh.
And those, I've had one of those that I can think of in my high school season, which is funny because their scoring format was made to be short. And our match, it was in a tournament, and our match went on for 3 hours, and that match held up the whole tournament because the winner would keep playing, the loser would have to move sites and play a different school at a different location, and that match prevented us from doing either. So 3 hours, I think,
Okay.
has been the
So the
longest.
other question on to that is, did you win that one?
I lost that one to 7 or 8, 9. It was to 8, and it was no ad, which means it's like 1 point, and you kind
Mm-hmm.
of play it. And I was down and I was up, and we just both kept going back and forth for 3 hours, and we had like 70 shot long rallies and things like that. So we were
Yeah.
both just done, and that was the first match of or second match of 6 that day.
Wow.
So yeah.
I would
That
have
is
liked
epic.
I would have liked to have seen that one. All
No
right.
kidding.
Funniest quote or saying that Coach Thompson has made to you?
He likes to compare me to Serena a lot, and he always thought that when I put my hair up in a bun, it meant that it was go time. And I would say about 90% of the time, if my hair went up, I would win the match, even if I was losing it. So that was kind of like his thing, and he would say it was like my thing. So that's what he would tell everybody. Like if it came up, it was business time, and that kind of went on for 4 years. So.
All right, very good. All right, okay, so again, I got to help out Jay here with just a food question. What is the oddest combination of two foods that you put together that you really like?
Um, I do. I'm also a big foodie, but I feel like I have like my limits on what I put together. But usually, if it's something crazy, it's like two sugary things together. So like peanut butter and Oreos and things like that. I'm not like a
Okay,
Oh yeah.
Pe-
opposing. Yeah,
peanut butter and Oreos. That does sound very sugary. Yeah.
yeah.
I think I might have to try that later today. I think that sounds wonderful.
All right. Hey, that's all I got. Great job. You've done a fantastic job, and thank you for joining us on Memorial Day. We're going to let Jay close out the program here, but we want to have you hold on, and we'll visit with you right afterwards, real briefly. But again, thank you so much for being on here with us.
Yeah, thank you again. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, we had an absolute blast tonight hanging out with Sandy Baskar, and I'm telling you, there are so many questions I could have kept asking her. We didn't even get into, her passion for the food bank and some of her travels, and when she does travel to India, what they do. There is so much we could have kept going on about. I'm telling you, you need to check out her article in Sports Locker magazine. You also need to check out an awesome article that was written by the News Tribune that was published back in March of this year. If you search her name, you will find it, and there is just so much going on with this young lady. And so we are just very happy that we got on her schedule and that she joined us tonight. So, you guys know what to do. If you want us to keep bringing you awesome people every Monday night, you need to subscribe to our page, uh, like it, comment, um, share it with your friends. We are on here every Monday at 7 p.m., and we have an absolute blast bringing you guys up to date stories and also getting to introduce you to some of these awesome student athletes. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker magazine extra. I'm your co host, Jay, and that's the Bald Eagle, Mr. Kirk. And we absolutely love you guys.
All right.
Thanks for joining us on Memorial Day. Have a great week and God bless.
Yeah, God bless you guys, and have a great night. We'll see you next week. And again, we want to thank Sandy for joining us. And you can see that program on YouTube as well. So have a great night. We'll see you next week.